Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's board report for the month of August. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at the future of school boards. Despite some critics who claim locally elected boards of education are an outdated form of governing our public schools, a professor and researcher at Seattle Pacific University, Dr. Thomas Alsbury, says school boards have proven to be the most effective way to govern local school districts. He says there's a reason the responsibility for education has been left to states and local communities.
And researchers have supported the concept that not only is it important for kids, the work that you do, but it is actually important for our country. And I think that's a very important message that's sometimes lost. It's been said that the local school board is one of the last, actually, remnants of true local government left in the United States. There's a good reason to maybe preserve it.
Alsbury advocates what he calls a balanced governance model for school boards that emphasizes informed oversight that is neither disengaged nor overreaching in its decision-making. He made his remarks at MSBA's recent Leadership Summit. Registration is now open for the 2017 MSBA Annual Conference to be held October 5th through the 8th at the Lake of the Ozarks. The event features more than 120 concurrent sessions. Most are presented by MSBA member school districts. Also, be sure your school board is represented at the MSBA Fall Delegate Assembly to be held on Friday, October 6th during the annual conference. This delegate assembly will be considering approval of MSBA's advocacy positions document that combines legislative resolutions, platform statements, and position statements from the Missouri Public Education Vision Project into a single document. The new advocacy positions document will form the basis of MSBA's lobbying efforts during the 2018 session of the Missouri General Assembly. Delegates do not have to be registered for the annual conference in order to participate in the delegate assembly, and if your board's designated delegate cannot attend, you can send another board member to represent your board at this important meeting. The debate over school choice continues at both the state and federal levels. School choice takes many different forms, including vouchers, open enrollment, charter schools, and choice options within the public schools. Most recently here in Missouri, the General Assembly considered but did not approve legislation to establish what are called education savings accounts for parents to use to send their children to public or private schools using taxpayer dollars. Commissioner of Education Margie Van Dieven told an audience at MSBA's recent Leadership Summit, supporters of the concept often argue that schools will improve simply because parents have a choice.
That is probably where we are right now at the federal level, is that there's this sense of belief that if parents have the ability to use their dollars to send kids anywhere they choose, that'll create better opportunities. And I think that's the one that we're going to have to really work through as a state on what that means and what that looks like, because clearly parents are your, the children's best advocates, and we want to support the belief of the parent. And yet, as these two alluded to so passionately, a solid public education system is absolutely vital to a state's prosperity. No matter where you choose to send your child, you absolutely have to have a thriving public school system for all of our children to access.
Van Dieven says in states that have some sort of choice option, the vast majority of parents continue to send their children to a nearby public school. She made her comments during a panel discussion, including State Board of Education Vice President Vic Lenz and MSBA Executive Director Melissa Randall. As students, teachers, and staff are returning to begin a new school year, it's a good time to think about ways we are keeping our schools as safe as possible. MSBA's Center for Education Safety reminds school administrators it's a good time to review your district's emergency operations plans. It's also a good time for administrators and those responsible for school safety issues to reconnect with all agencies in your community that might be involved in responding to an emergency situation. By the way, the annual Safe Schools and Colleges Conference, sponsored by MSBA Center for Education Safety, is set for October 4th and 5th at the Lake of the Ozarks, just prior to this year's annual conference. Registration information is available through the MSBA website. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.